Welcome to the Sports Drink Club. I am your host, Patrick Melton, along with my co-host, Keenan Duke, and we have got another episode coming right at you with a special guest, a old Plano legend. What you want to call yourself? It just
Man, I'm just blessed to have
Euro
come to Plano,
superstar.
man. Hey,
John
I wouldn't call
Roberson
myself a
with us
legend.
tonight, man. But
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
glad you're
We're
with us.
definitely happy to have you. We're definitely
Yeah.
happy to have you, man. But Keenan, I know that you've been, in the lab today. Okay,
Yes, I have.
Getting our episodes ready, man. We've been real busy for the last few hours, man. How your back feeling right now? I heard you had a back.
My back is sore, man. My back is sore. I had a workout the other day. Feel like I done blown it out or something like that.
Hey, what happened to your back, bro?
Nah, I'm just really sore from this workout that I had on yesterday. So it's just like, I'm really sore, and I've been sitting in the chair all day, like working, getting all this stuff taken care of so we can pump out these episodes. But I'm all right.
Okay.
All right, man. So we got John Roberson with us tonight, and we've been following you for a long time, obviously, and since you came over to Plano and blessed us with a state championship and moved on to do bigger things at the D1 level and of course at the professional level. And so we just want to talk about first. I know me personally, okay, because I try to piece stories together just through mutual friends that we have or whatever it may be. So I'm just trying to figure out how the hell you even got to Plano, okay? How that all I heard was like, oh, we've got this guy who's coming from Florida.
Yeah, that was like the wildest thing. Like this room was like, oh, there's this kid coming from Florida. Like he's really good at basketball. I was like, who's this kid coming? Like, how good is he?
And the crazy part about that story is like, so I'm coming from Florida. Like so my mom, the reason I came to Texas was because my mom had a job transfer.
Right.
So she had a job transfer. I kind of knew before I was coming to Texas, so I looked at 3 schools. I looked at Cedar Hill, Duncanville, and Plano. So we took a trip to Texas before we were actually about to move and visited those 3 schools. And it just so happened that Plano had an open spot at point guard.
Oh,
so I'm like,
so that's
wow.
I remember the vacancy quite well. Whose spot you took over?
Yes. I'm not gonna say any names or anything.
Don't need to.
But it was an open spot, man, and so Coach Inman is a great salesman. He was like, look, we have everything we need except the point guard. He was like, you could come in right away and play. And he was like, I'm gonna put the ball in your hands. And that's all I needed to hear. So
and that's exactly what he did too.
It's exactly what he did. He was a man of his word. I saw the camp. I'm like, am I at a high school or is this like a junior college? Like it was crazy.
The
campus, I was blown away. I was blown away by the campus and everything. So it was a no-brainer.
I hear you, man. And at that time, this is just now. I'm just asking. This is just off the outline. But did you have the green light with Emmett? Were you just did you just have the ability just to pull up whenever you wanted to? Was there any repercussions for that? Did you have the green light? Is what I want to know.
The thing with Emmett is so. He never got on me about shooting shots. The only thing he told me was, don't split double teams. That was his thing. He hated when I used to try to split double teams. Or, I remember the first game we played is against Oak Cliff, against Darrell Arthur.
Right.
And I'm so used to getting to the rack and finishing, using my body, finishing at the rim. I had never played against somebody like Darrell Arthur. He was blocking my shot every single time.
Wow.
So Inman came up to me and he's like, look, do you not see this 6'10", 260 guy in the paint? Like you got your shot blocked about 5 or 6 times. Use your pull-up. So that's when I developed my pull-up game. Like he really helped me with that. But as far as the green light, man, yes, he gave me the green light. He put the ball in my hands and the rest is history.
I remember watching those games. I was like, man, this dude's got the greenest light I've ever seen.
it was funny because like you like go to the basketball games before you were there, and like it just seemed a lot more structured and just like pass the ball. It was like, okay, now this person shoot, and then you came in there and just kind of like, I think John Josh is gonna shoot this ball.
But that's how I played in Florida. Like that's where I came from. Like where like, and I watched a lot of Allen Iverson. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched a lot of AI. That was my favorite player.
Okay.
So I studied him, and like I really did not have a good shot selection. I'm just like I'm creating, I'm shooting. I believed in myself, so that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, well, it showed, and obviously that style of play paid off for you. So
yeah.
And so after Tech, man, you went undrafted, that year, and obviously the options are limited for you, as far as you wanting to expand, go further in your career. So you end up going to Europe. How did that opportunity actually present itself? After Texas Tech.
Well, okay, so I met a guy at Texas Tech. He was assistant coach. His name was Amir Smajic. And from there, after I graduated, he hit me up and was like, hey, I want to be your agent.
Right.
So he's like, hey, I have a couple opportunities for you. This team wants you. This team is interested. So he kind of did the negotiating, the contracts and everything. And my first job, I ended up in Slovenia. And he's actually European as well. He's from Bosnia.
Right.
So he has a good relationship with the guys over there and good connections. And I was with him. It didn't work out my first year. I actually got cut.
And, really? I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Yes.
Wow.
So I got cut. I got cut from my first team. That was a wake up call.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It really woke me up, and I kind of realized like, okay, wait, like I need to work harder. You know what I mean? Like I have to put the work in.
Did you feel like you were slacking off?
Huh?
Did you feel like you were slacking off at all before then, or what? Like
I was.
Really?
I was.
Okay.
Like looking back on it, I was definitely coming from college. I'm like, I'm gonna go overseas. I'm gonna be good. Like these guys, like I'm going overseas. I'll be good.
Yeah.
I had no idea like about the European game, anything. So when I got there, it was a rude awakening. Like those guys can play too. You know what I mean? Like they're good. They're professionals. So it really was a wake up call. And after I got cut is really when I just I said, okay, I have to change some things. I just stayed in the gym, worked hard, and just really stuck with it.
Yeah, I got you. Was there like any sort of discussion with you like potentially going into the D League or anything like that? Like, or was it just kind of Europe all the way?
So I heard a lot of horror stories about the D League.
Yeah, I've kind of heard a lot of horror stories as well. Yeah. So that's why I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I just heard a lot of bad things about the D League. As far as, you play a lot of games, there's not a lot of pay, there's not a lot of upside to it. You know what I mean? And as far as the European market, like you can pretty much work your way up and prove yourself and level up each year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can be in the G League and have a guy from the NBA come down and take all your minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like it happens.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I didn't hear a lot of good things about the D League. I'm sure a lot of guys get the call ups, and that's great, but it's not that many guys who get the call up. So
yeah, it's kind of few and far in between. Seems like
exactly.
Yeah. And what was like some of the main differences that you saw between Euro competition and NBA competition? Is there a distinct difference, or are we talking like 1A, 1B type situation?
For me, the European game is a lot more tactical. You see a lot more tactics. You see a lot more game planning as far as you have guys in the paint. You can't it's not just one-on-one.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot more guys who can think the game, who can read defenses. In the NBA, it's more athleticism.
Right.
So I think my game translates more to the European game because I'm not the most athletic guy on the court.
Right.
I'm kind of undersized. but I can shoot the ball. That's what helps me. And
Yeah.
I'm a good passer. I can lead a team. I can control the tempo.
Mhm.
So those all work in my favor. So I think my game kind of translates more to the European side.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think you can lead a team, right? You got some MVPs under your belt, right?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Trying to be all modest. I got a few.
I got a few of them.
That's
Well,
awesome, man.
the
I
thing is,
appreciate
I'm watching, basketball. I'm watching the Raptors the other night here, and somebody like a Fred Van Fleet, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was a 3-4 year guy, at Wichita State, and just I know that he was a D-leaguer, and he's obviously getting big time minutes right now. You guys are almost relatively, the same size.
Yeah.
What the difference is just an opportunity. Is it more so who you know? Is it the team or the organization that you get drafted by, or is it just pure luck? How do you get to that level? Because I've seen players make it in the league that, me personally, maybe they shouldn't be there in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of hype, gets surrounded around these guys, and they end up, being a bust. For somebody like you, why do you feel like a scout said, I just don't know if John's the right fit for our team?
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct about that. It's a lot about the hype, that's for sure. I feel like in my position, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't work hard enough in college. I look at all these guys like you said, Fred Van Fleet, and I think he is very similar player to myself. But I feel like if I would have worked harder in college, if I would have had a greater work ethic, I would have had a chance to play in the NBA. But I kind of learned that too late, man. I learned it a little too late, as far as just staying in the gym and
Right.
putting that work in, and you get out what you put in, and everything happens for a reason. I'm not mad about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I look at those guys and I'm like, man, I can play on that level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like I can play on that level, but it is what it is right now. Like I can't complain. I'm definitely blessed to still be able to play the game at a high level. But like you said, man, like it's all about the opportunity. I had opportunity with the Nets. I was actually on the summer league team. Great experience. Didn't really get the minutes that I wanted, but it was a great experience. And just to see that level was, it was a good opportunity. But I wish I could kind of go back in time and
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where like if I knew what I know now, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like it seems like while you kind of missed the boat just a little bit, like you realized it like maybe a little bit too late. At the same time, you realized it before, it was too late to where like you couldn't even play until like in like Europe. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You realize that you put in the work at the right time for you to be able to make it back into playing in Europe. You know what I mean? Because you could have missed the boat completely, but you didn't.
Exactly.
So that's one thing to kind of at least impart to other people where it's like, even if you realize that you're messing up, you still have time to kind of fix it and correct the boat.
Absolutely.
So that's amazing that you were able to kind of realize that and make that correction in time for you to be able to continue playing professionally.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes. So like, what was it like playing professionally in Europe? Like going to all these different places and living in all these different countries.
Man, it's really been a blessing just to be able to travel the world, and I've actually had my mom, a couple family members, a couple friends be able to come out and see where I'm at and visit those places. So it's definitely been a blessing to be able to travel the world and do what I love to do. Like I don't look at my basketball as a job. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been doing it my whole life, so it's really a blessing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't either. Like I almost feel like you kind of, I don't know. I feel like you almost got the best of both worlds because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being
Yeah.
honest because it's like so many people. They always talk about, oh, I want to travel. I want to live in this different country. I want to live in that country. You know, I want to see the world. And here you are. You're actually able to do that while playing basketball. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to take time out of like after basketball season to do those things. It's like you're able to do that while still being able to play basketball.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like you're almost
exactly.
playing, like you're almost like this jet setter living in all these different countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like what everybody kind of wants to do. And you're like, and to me, the cool part is you're living like you've lived and played in these countries where they're not so well known, like Slovenia, Hungary, you know, Russia. You know, I think that's pretty cool that you've been able to live in those environments.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So what's in store for John? Are we looking to continue? We're still playing, or are you transitioning to another, you know, another form of your life?
man. Right now, I think I have about 3 or 4 more years left.
All
So
right. So you still got some juice left in your legs. That's
I
good.
still got some juice left. Still got some juice left. But afterwards, man, I'm thinking about, and I've really been thinking about it. I'm really thinking about pursuing the agent career.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually talked to my agent about it, and he's like, "Man, you have so many connections. You know, so many people especially on the European side. Like, why not just come over and be an agent?" So
Right.
that's
That'd be
really what
great.
I'm focusing on. Like, get my connections in order, my contacts. I thought about the coaching thing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Sour face.
Bro, it just seems so
It's rigorous,
stressful.
man. That's
So
a
stressful.
rigorous job.
It really is. It really is. I mean, I feel like I have my knowledge of the game it's pretty good. Like I know I've been able to experience a lot of different styles of coaching.
Right.
So I feel like I can take like the best of what I know or what I've experienced and like apply that to, coaching.
Exactly.
But as far as the job, it's tough.
Yeah.
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 Dealing with those different personalities and all that, like it's very
I
tough.
mean, just to see what Joseph Fultz is doing, and he's just on an assistant level. I mean, but he has to be in the same room, and he puts in the same exact hours that Buzz is, and I
Yep.
could just only imagine being the head guy and not just dealing with all of your coaches, assistants, trainers, and everybody else in between. And then you have to worry about your players. Then you have to sleep at night and worry that your players aren't doing anything at night. Like it's just,
And then you also got your family.
then you got your family. Exactly.
Exactly.
So I
It
can
takes
only,
it takes a special type of human being to be able to balance that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
uh-oh,
Shit. Do we lose him?
might have.
Fuck.
It's okay. Just give it a
Yeah. Yeah.
second. He's frozen right here. Hopefully we don't have to
Or restart the broadcast.
we'll end it and then I mean, can you upload too?
I mean, I can. It's just not at that point. I'm gonna have to download the video, two separate videos. It's just gonna take more time.
Let me just eject him and I'll call him right back.
All right.
Okay. What was it? It was
True baller, right?
True BALL
No, W baller. BAWLA.
2000.
Yeah.
It's all right. Hold on. He's probably like, oh no.
No, I'm not tripping. I was just rubbing my head.
Because we're almost like towards the end.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was hoping to get him to expand on like living in different countries, but whatever.
You can still ask him. You can ask the next. Let the next question be like, so what was your favorite country and why, and have him kind of expand on it.
I'll just ask him like with the advice, whatever.
Okay. Ask him that.
Well, I guess you can ask him that, and then I'll just kind of like chime in and be like, "Would you like recommend for players like yourself to like go play in Europe?"
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he hops back on, we'll just say, "Hey, we'll just start at this question. We'll cut that part out." Even though I think that was going to be a really good one. But
yeah, I thought it was too. Like, what was he about to say? Like, what was he in the middle of saying?
he was talking about just coaching and kind of that. It takes a special person to kind of do that. So come on. Come on. I hope his phone didn't die.
It might have. He probably wasn't. He probably not used to like how much battery it uses.
Why are you trying to say that he always on the phone for?
No, I'm saying how much battery it uses. Like when you're doing this,
Yeah,
it drains it really fast. Like I was at 100% when we started, and I'm already down to 76.
Damn.
Yeah.
I bet you.
Like when we finished the broadcast with Danielle, like my shit had just like dropped below 20%. That's why my video feed went out. I'm gonna put money on that his phone died.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why he was walking back to the house. Yeah, he walked back. All right. Until then.
Here, I'm gonna walk outside for a second. Text me when he comes right back.
I'll text you if he comes back on. He's very cute. Hey,
Man, what happened?
did you? We thought we took bets that your phone died.
Yeah, man. It like malfunctioned and I couldn't get back on.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No worries. We'll just we'll pick it back up here. Patrick went outside real quick. Let me
Okay.
text him, tell him that you came back.
Okay.
All right. No, that's all good. Yeah, I was like, I see he's walking back in the house. I think his phone's dying, and then it like blanked out. We're like, yeah, I think his phone died.
No, I got a couple. I got like 2% left, but it's charging.
Okay, cool. Yeah, whenever like you're on this thing, like it like drains your battery super fast.
It goes crazy, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because I know when I started this, like when we started, I was at 100%. Like I was down to 76 when you dropped off. So
got the phone died. I'm sure. I'm sure. So I figured that's what it was. I went back outside, man. We got about, man, there's probably like 20 people over at the house right now, man. Like,
oh, for real?
Everybody is outside. I made ribs, chicken, steak,
throwing
burgers, shrimp kebabs, whatever you can think of, bro. Just everybody eating right now. So I've been cooking all day, man. I smell like smoke, but I just need to make some time to get this done because I'm going to Abu Dhabi for
next week.
My wife's birthday, from the 1st to the 10th. So I'm gonna be overseas for a while, for 8-9 days or whatever, maybe, and then we got episodes to do. So we trying to cram it off right now. But okay, we'll just pick up where we left off. Crash, the last question that we're just gonna pick up.
Yeah, right, I'll figure out a way to edit it.
Okay, so Keenan, you want to go ahead and start this one off? For your advice.
You still there, John? John? Shit. Did we lose him again?
I don't know.
Fuck.
On ejective. Straight ejected him, Paul. You know how it says eject. he just got ejected. All right. Okay, so True Balla 2000.
Does he spell his name with the H or
I think it's with the H.
I think so, because I'm looking at his stuff on Wikipedia. It's with an H.
Yeah.
John Roberson. Jonathan. I think he said he was charging his phone because he said his shit was at 2%. So.
What's the phone charge, bro?
Damn, I wish I could have that food you cooked up.
Bro, cooked so much, bro. Like everything, bro. So should I shouldn't stop the broadcast, should I?
No, because it'll be more of a pain. It's easier for me just to cut out the empty space that's here rather than having to upload and basically download and convert 2 separate video files and then have to like cut them, and it's easier if we just keep it rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full set. I'm at 2%. Bro, just let it charge up.
He said it was charging. So,
bro, his phone probably never stops ringing, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine his phone stay blowing up. Who's winning the Blues game? Yeah, Blues up 1-0. Let's go. End of the first. Oh boy.
He said, yeah, got disconnected. All good, man.
Then dropped out. Dropped right back out.
Hello?
I was wondering. I was like, he lost. I was like, his screen's blank, and he hasn't said anything. I feel like we lost him.
Oh man.
Oh well.
Because I was just like, if he has a computer, he should just hop on his computer, or an iPad or something. But
yeah, he probably doesn't though. Probably not with him.
What?
Danielle just texted me. She said, she said, "Hey Keenan, I was just thinking, do you need a picture of me for when the podcast releases? I'll send you one just in case."
Yes. You are low key flirting hard.
I am not flirting with that bitch at all.
Her boyfriend probably be like, "Would you say?"
I know, boyfriend looked like he threw me out a goddamn 10-story window.
I just told her, man, just let your phone charge a bit rather than each other. She is so excited, bro.
She is. She like super. She said she was like looking forward to this. I was like, over your competition that you've been training for.
It looks like our social media director is back on.
Oh, is he?
Dude, bro, he loves posting basketball stuff, bro.
He been posting. She had this picture locked and ready.
She just wants you like use this one.
She did. Look, I'm gonna send you the picture that she just sent me.
Jesus.
I know.
Okay. I'll make a tile. I can make a tile post for that, or do you want a single post?
Oh, like what do you mean a tile post?
Like
yeah, you can do the tile post. But I was thinking like at least for like the story, because I can do like if she sends me one of like her in the past or something, I can do like a collage thing and split it. You know, like the one basically that you used before,
right?
But I'll just use this updated kind of picture with this one right here with another past one.
Bro, wow.
I know.
I think we're on to something with these having bikini models and competitors in here. And what's your name? Freaking Kelly Dupree. I said, "Is this the knockout?" I said, "Is this the knockout queen?" And she goes, "I almost got in a fight last night." Like, Jesus.
That's hilarious. She said, "I was caught in a fight last night." I like how you still talking to this bitch,
bro. Because she's interesting. I kind of want her. She's like, "I got a whole bunch of stories." I'm like, we love stories.
We just need to have like a rando episode, just like backyard brawls, and just like have that bitch on.
We got Kelly Dupree, the buckets of them all.
The buckets.
just buck.
That's hilarious.
I don't give a fuck. Like, okay, perfect. On.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. We know. we can tell. Oh shit.
Man. I mean,
My only fear now is I'm hoping that this file size won't get too big.
what do you mean?
If
I
it
mean,
gets too,
it hasn't even been an hour, has it?
no, I mean, I think we were in the midst of talking. I feel like we were bordering like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's how long we had been on with him. Like, not too long. Like, since he had started recording. So, but I feel like now we're probably up to like 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's been at least like 15 minutes since, he kind of first cut out. So, just hoping that the file size doesn't get too large. Yeah, as long as it's like an hour, it's fine. A little bit over, it's fine too.
Yeah.
I've drank way more than I fucking had to eat today.
Are you saying that you feel drunk?
No, not at all. I'm just saying I haven't had much to eat today.
He didn't warm up again, bro.
I went to a store the other day and got this Irish whiskey, Tullamore. It's pretty good. I feel like I've drank more in the past 2 weeks than I have in like the past 2 years. Well, welcome to single life. Yeah, she's super excited. She was super happy to talk about herself today.
Yeet.
She gonna get hit with that yeet.
I'm Clubhouse Queen, bitch. She's like, or more.
The fact that she wants to talk about knocking out bitches. Like she's some UFC fighter.
Bro, she don't even fight, bro. She just got a dog face. Dog. Seriously. Ugh.
She do look good.
Danielle.
Danielle.
Looks like you have any favorite.
I don't know. Beta fine herself, yo.
Yeah. True.
I was like, Beta fine too, bro. I be seeing her and some of her friends on her stories. I'm like, God damn. Did you see her story with her by the pool?
Yes.
I was like, ooh. God damn.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Beta. He said, man, died on me.
That's hilarious. He said died on me. That's funny.
He's like, died on me.
God damn, I need to make my way up to Vancouver. That's a dope pick. Oh wow, she was really skinny. She said, "I was so wow, holy shit, she really was skinny."
Bro, we just need to continue to keep having fitness models on here.
I'm gonna send you this. She just sent me this. She was like, "I'm trying to look for another picture."
Yeah,
But
I don't know what like. Okay, so I'm looking at Kelly's Instagram. Like she looks a certain
who?
like her sister and her look not like they're like two different beings, bro.
Mm.
Remember how you're like, dang, her. You're like, who's that brunette chick? I was like, yeah, that's her sister. They look nothing alike.
Yeah.
Like one got the pretty jeans and the other one just got kind of a, oh God, don't know how to explain it. Like, she got beat up. Yeet. He's like, all right, I'm gonna try to log back on. Died on me. Not Tanya, Saul. She like hops on. Hello, I got an invite from here.
She just like interrupts the whole fucking thing. Patrick, Keenan, like, God damn it, time to get the fuck off.
Oh, sorry. Get off my line.
Get your pancake ass off the phone.
Oh man. Oh, I am so surprised, bro. You did not see any of that.
Nah, I wasn't trying to fuck with that. I could tell she was like all wrapped up with her ex. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to deal with that bullshit, especially coming off of what I was dealing with in Vancouver. So I was not about it.
Mm.
Well, it's kind of funny looking at our the site, seeing that we got fucking 2 episodes queued up.
We do. And then after we get done with this one, we can post this, give John a shout out on the story or whatever.
Yeah, we won't release his episode until next week, though.
Yeah. I'm just trying to attract some traffic because I know
for sure.
He's going to have plenty of traffic that.
Yeah, like you can have him like we can have him like maybe post something like saying like, he just did a recording with us, basically like look out for his episode, and then like when we finally drop his episode, he can like, maybe post and be like, go listen to it now. I should charge my phone. I'm gonna get hit with the yeet way back.
That fool's phone probably died trying to open up. He said, man, died on me.
Thanks, ugly God.
All right, just text me, bro.
All right.
When you hop back on, make sure your phone doesn't die.
No, I got it charging right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Hey.
Hey, my fault, man. My fault.
Yeah.
I didn't know it took so much juice.
I told you, man. That should be sucking up juice, man. Let me get Patrick. He just walked away.
My fault, fellas. Dang.
You all good, bro. Seriously. This shit happens.
My bad, man. I'm messing up the podcast. My fault.
Nah, man, we happy to have you on. Nah, it's awesome to have you. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
It's been a minute, man, but yeah, I'm everything was going smooth until my phone died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My fault.
Nah, you
Twice.
good. How's life on the end though? Everything all good?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything is going pretty good. Enjoying this engagement. So I just got engaged. So
I heard about that.
yeah,
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think Patrick's gonna ask you a question on how you popped the question.
Oh yeah.
Did you do something extravagant?
I mean, it was a surprise. I would say
Okay.
like she didn't know I was coming, so I flew all the way from Russia, surprised her in Miami. She had a game, so I kind of just pulled up and was like, "Hey." But I had a lot of help though. I had a lot of help from her roommate actually like helped me set it up.
Uh-huh.
Like her athletic staff helped me set it up too, so it was cool.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Glad you had some help with that.
All right, where we at? My J Mac just pulled off. Everybody was like, "Where's Patrick at?" I was like, "I'm in the back recording." And J Mac, you know that J Mac just got to Aston. Like did you see that he got to Aston Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he pulled up in that today, bro. So he flexing hard right now.
He's super flexing hard.
Bro, he flexing right now. Bro.
Flexing extra hard, bro.
I know, bro. We'll go ahead and finish up these last few questions. Keenan, we were at the advice part. We got that, and then like a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
And bite it out.
I'm trying to think of how we left it. I'm just trying to think of how I'm gonna edit the shit, but fuck it, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we were talking about the coaching and everything, and like how that's tough, but do you have any advice for like what kind of actually before we do that, let me plug this in because it's different whenever I have my headphones plugged in.
There you go.
All right. That sound all right?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool. You still there, John?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's like, God damn it.
Still here.
All right, cool. So like what kind of advice would you kind of impart to other players who are looking to extend their career, you know, if the NBA isn't, you know, immediately within the cards?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you went to Europe, you know, as we just discussed, but so like what would you kind of advise them maybe looking to take in that route? Or, you know, we mentioned the D League with the horror stories, but, you know, that's also, you know, a path that they could take. But like what kind of advice overall would you kind of give to athletes and basketball players in your facing similar situation?
As far as advice, I'll have to tell them that they need to sign with somebody as far as an agent who believes in them. You don't want to sign with somebody who has so many players and who you're not the focal point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're just a guy that he's trying to sign, cross you off the list. You don't want that. You want somebody who's going to be personable. You want somebody who is going to have your best interests at heart when it comes to, especially your first job. It's everything. Like I remember, you know, after I got cut, I had to work from the bottom, so it was really tough just to get back to that level that I wanted to be at. So, you know, like I said earlier, you have to put in the work. You have to be prepared because when you go overseas, like you have to make sure that you're overly prepared as far as like, your body, you're in shape, your mental aspect, because it can be a lot. Like you're going to a country where you don't speak the language.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The coaching over there can be a little different. and it can be a culture shock. You can go over there and be homesick immediately. Then you want to, it's a lot of aspects that go into it that you have to be ready for mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure you're prepared for that, and do your research. As far as where you might end up going.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have a feel for the city. Kind of have a feel for the team you're going to. Watch some film. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
See what you're getting yourself into. I would say that.
Okay, yeah, because that's something that's always kind of, I mean, your situation particularly like really interests me because, you know, to me, I always kind of feel like African Americans just in general don't really get the opportunity to travel that much.
Mm-hmm.
And so for, a person like you or, and other African Americans in similar situations who are now finding themselves having the ability to like go and travel and be across seas and be like further away from home than they've ever been or even imagined they could have been, like what kind of attitude and mentality that takes to be open to being able to not only take that opportunity but to thrive in that opportunity. And like you said, like it would be easy, I would feel like, to get homesick because you've never been away from home like that before. So like to be able to sustain that and live across so far away from home, like that to me is like what really interests me and like really kind of captivated me about like your experience, is that I feel like it's so unique, especially to like the African American culture, because it's something that you don't really see that often.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Absolutely.
Yes, and it's kind of for me, I was almost used to it because I've moved so many places growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm born in Kansas City, all my family's in Kansas City. Then I moved to Florida when I'm like 5 or 6. So I always had to adapt to new surroundings, and I was kind of thrown in different places my whole life growing up. Then like I said, I moved to Texas when I'm 16. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, this is just another chapter. Like I'm moving, like I'm gonna be gone, I'm coming back. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it didn't really bother me as much. But I've seen other guys who they're just like, man, I don't know if this is for me. Like they just they can't they can't adapt, they can't get used to things closing at 7 o'clock at night. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's no 7-Elevens over there. There's no Walmarts. Like
Yeah.
It's a lot different. So
That's wild, man. And I congratulations on your recent success in your own relationship. But I'm wanting to know, how did you come up with this idea to propose, man? I saw that on Instagram, and any listener who hasn't Pete John's Instagram, he recently just proposed in probably just the most I mean, storybook type way. I mean, can you just kind of give us just a little bit of insight on how you came up with the idea of doing that?
Man, to be honest, everything kind of just fell in place. Like I'm over. Okay, so I'm overseas by myself. I have a lot of time to think and to
Right.
kind of plan things. But I ended up having a break, and I'm looking at my break. I'm looking at her schedule. I'm like, whoa, okay, she has a game here. So, and we were already talking about it, of course. Like, we've been looking at rings nonstop. I'm sending her pictures of rings. Oh, you like this one? Yeah, like. So we were kind of going back and forth about that. But, so our schedules just kind of aligned, and I actually hit up her roommate, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Can you help me out? And the one thing she always told me was like, if you ever surprise me, and we get engaged or you propose, like, please just make sure my nails are done.
Oh wow.
So I hit up her roommate and I'm like, hey, can you go and take her to get her nails done? So I kind of knocked that out. That was good. And then the whole thing about surprising her, we talk every day on FaceTime.
Right.
So I'm literally flying from Russia all the way to the States. It takes me a day to get there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not able to talk to her for a day. So like my whole excuse was I'm sick, like I can't talk, like I'm not feeling good. So she's
man,
getting mad.
I could only imagine.
Like she's pissed. She's like, what do you mean you can't pick up the phone? Like, I just want to see your face. I'm like, oh, I can't do it.
She probably thinks some shady stuff going
on. Like she's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's intuition.
Yeah.
So I had to go back home to Dallas to pick up the ring, and then I flew to Miami.
Right.
So her whole athletic staff like helped me out. They had everybody at half court when I came out to kind of block me. So it was kind of like they kind of like parted seas and like let me walk through everybody, and then she like saw me. Like there was a screen playing of like our picture. We had a picture of Jumbo. Like it was cool. It was really cool.
Man, that's crazy, man. I just remember watching that and it was just such a Disney type situation, man. It's like Prince Charming type situation, man.
It's like every girl's like dream come true.
Yeah,
like, every
bro.
man is like, this is what I've always wanted.
That was exactly how it happened, man. But congratulations to you, man.
I appreciate it.
We wish you the best of luck in that. But
Mm-hmm.
a couple side questions, man, before we wrap up. One question I've always wanted to know: you were there when Michael Prince was there, possibly at some point in time.
Yep.
Just a question: did he ever get clowned for getting slapped by Bob Knight? I just need to know.
All the time. We was not letting that go. What? We wasn't gonna let that happen and not say nothing about it. Bro, you got slapped on national television in your face.
You got slapped
on national television, and then you act like it hurt too. You like touching his jaw, like, hey, we let him have it.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, I know everybody, in the locker room, just, you just have that day to day where you see everybody after practice, before practice. Like, I could just see Michael Prince just being like, okay, guys, that's enough. That's old. Okay.
People like, man, get
get
out of here.
Hey, to Prince's defense, he was cool, man. He was
he's a cool
teammates I ever had. Like, love that guy. He was a great guy, great teammate. But we had to get him.
I hear you on that, man.
That makes sense.
Another question I had for you: what were you thinking, man, on that last shot from Nick Weiss in the state championship? It went around and around, kind of popped out. Was that just a miracle type deal, man? Because I felt like you cats were pulling up from mid court, bro. Like, that was one of the craziest shootouts I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
What was going through your head at that time?
Nah, the thing about that is he was killing the whole game.
Yeah.
He had like 30 points, I think, that game. Like, he was killing. Like, that was probably the first time where I had a guy like just demolish me.
Right.
And I was like, man, this guy's good. He's going to Arizona for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he shot it, I actually played good defense on that possession. Like, I had a hand in his face. The only thing I could do was hope he missed it. Like,
right.
That's the only thing I could do. He had been making those all game. Like, I remember I had a hand in his face. He shot it. I didn't even want to look. But I looked at the last second. I looked at the last second and I just saw it like pop out. I didn't even see the whole thing, like where like toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a nerve-wracking shot. Like, that's what, like, after it went, like, you could see it like finally like go out of the rim, and just like the whole entire stadium just like erupted, because it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah, that was a great year. That was 06 was a great year for Plano Senior High, man, for sure, especially in athletics. So I'll never ever forget that one right there, man. But what's in store for John for 2019, 2020, and how can our followers find you?
Man, 2019, 2020. Right now, it's unknown, man. I don't know where I'm gonna be at next year. Hopefully find that out soon. But I'll be working out this summer, staying in shape, getting ready for the next season. Just enjoying my time back home. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. If anybody wants to contact me, get a hold of me, I'm there. But
what's your handle?
J.R.Flurry 21.
Okay.
Get at me on Instagram. So yeah, man, I'm around, man. I'll be at Plano a lot this summer, working out with the guys and just up there with Coach Christian.
All right.
So I won't be too far.
Staying in the community, man. Well, congratulations to you, man.
Yes.
We appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Absolutely. We worked through our technical difficulties, man, but we are.
Yeah. We made it work.
Yes, sir.
No, but thanks a lot for coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
Absolutely.
No problem.
And Keenan, where can the people find us, man?
They can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Sports Strength Club, and you can also listen to us on any podcast directory that you subscribe to, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. What's the one everyone loves, Patrick?
Everybody loves it when you can find us on Sods. You can find us on Sods.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can find us on Sods. But once you do, please leave a review, rate us, please. We'd love it. All the feedback would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys have any ideas on things that you'd like for us to talk about, you can email us at sportsstrengthclub@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Sports Drink Club. That's drnk@gmail.com. But this has been another episode of the Sports Drink Club. I'm one half member, Patrick Melton, along with my co-host, Keenan Duke. And we just had John Roberson on today. Hey, everybody, hope you had a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. We're out.
All right.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Happy Memorial Day. Catch y'all later.
All right.